Hello and welcome to the 8th and final dungeon boss guide for Dawntrail. But let's just begin. The first boss starts off with Malicious Mist, which is unavoidable raid-wide damage. After that, the boss will cast Falling Nightmare. This will spawn these floating heads above every player, and after a short period of time, they will do an avoidable AoE. If you are hit by this, you will get a debuff, which will not allow you to do any actions. So all you have to do here is simply move out of the way as soon as these spawn above your head. Next, the boss will cast Team Spirit. This will surround the arena with adds, and then the boss will cast Spirited Charge, which will force the adds to move in 2 groups. Avoid these adds at all costs, even if it means losing GCDs, because getting caught by these adds will bind you and then forcefully put the debuff on you. During this point, there will be 4 AoEs in the middle of the arena, which will progress to each cardinal or intercardinal. So make sure you're standing in between these and also avoiding all the adds as best as you can. Next, the boss will cast another Team Spirit and Spirited Charge, and this time it will cast Looming Nightmare, which will target 2 players with persistent following AoEs. I really don't know how to keep uptime with these, so I just play it safe, because the worst thing that can happen to you during this fight is getting caught by one of these adds, getting bound, and then having the mask put on and having that debuff. It honestly sucks. So the best thing you can do really here is just continue to kite these AoEs and continue to avoid the adds to the best of your ability. The boss will then yet again cast another Team Spirit and another Spirited Charge, and then cast Scream. This will do 3 sets of 2 cone AoEs. You can dodge these however you want. You can dodge from the second set into the first set, or the third set into the first set, or the third set into the second set. Whatever you do doesn't really matter as long as you're avoiding the adds, because the adds are the biggest menace during this fight. Then the boss will use another Looming Nightmare on 2 random players. And then Evil Scheme again. And that's this fight. It's rinse and repeat up until this point, and it's extremely chaotic. And the best rule of thumb to this fight is just avoid the adds at all costs, because that is the worst thing that can happen, is getting caught by them. The second boss will start with Troubling Teacups. This will spawn 4 teacups around the arena, and then a ghost will spawn and it will tether itself to one of the teacups, and then the boss will cast Tea a Whirl. This will spin all the teacups around multiple times. What you want to do here is watch the teacup that the ghost has tethered and just track it. Then go to the opposite side of the teacup that was tethered by the ad, as it does a big point blank AoE. The boss will then cast another Troubling Teacup, but this time it's a lot more teacups. 2 adds will spawn, and then it will cast Tea a Whirl again. The trick here is that you only need to pay attention to one of the adds that are tethered to the teacup, and then just take a mental note if the other add that was tethered to the other teacup is to the right or left, whatever one you're focusing on. And then just remember that it's going to be either to the right or left of the teacup that you were already focusing on. That way you're only paying attention to one teacup, and then you can just go opposite of both of the teacups from the one you were paying attention to. The next mechanic is Toiling Teacups. This will spawn a bunch of teacups around the map, and then there'll be 3 sets of jugs above the teacups that will pour some bad stuff into these jugs. What you want to do here is go to the second jugs that you see spawning. Pay attention to the first set here. As soon as the second set starts pouring, you'll be able to visualize where the safe spot will be at this point. The first set will still linger, but there will be a safe spot here, so don't worry too much. During this point, the boss will cast Last Drop, which is a tank bust on the tank. And at this point, you need to start moving because the third set is going to come out soon, and you don't want to be hit by that. The boss will then cast another Troubling Teacups with another 2 set of adds and another Tea a Whirl. Then the boss will do a Sordid Stream, and then it's pretty much rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. The last boss will begin with Bitter Regret, which is either going to do a cleave in the middle of the arena or to the sides of the arena. If it's a big portal in the middle of the arena, like so, then you want to go to the sides. If it's two smaller portals to the left and right, then you want to go into the middle. The boss will then cast Poltergeist, which will divide the arena into 4 quadrants, and then the boss will cast Memorial March, which will spawn these ghosts that tether to all 4 players, and these tethers are proximity based, so you need to get as far away as possible. The only problem is these boxes are in the way, so you can't make enough room, but then these circular pads start glowing and they'll turn you into a ghost. You need to go into the circular pad, turn into a ghost, and then that will allow you to phase through the boxes, so you can stretch your tether out as much as you want. After that, the boss will cast Ghost Duster. This will instantly kill you if you are still a ghost. So if you are still a ghost, make sure you go into the blue pad and turn back into a human. The boss will then cast Malicious Mist, which is unavoidable raid-wide damage that will leave everyone with a bleed. The boss will then cast a Memorial March. This will spawn ads at the very front of the arena that will do line AoEs. They'll be in 2 sets, so what you want to do here is stand in line where the second set spawns. You want to kind of do this from the middle, and you'll see why in a moment. Once the first line has gone out, dodge into it so you avoid the second set, and during this point the boss will cast a Bitter Regret. This will either be through the middle of the arena or to the sides of the arena. Doing this from the middle will give you the most leeway to dodge from either out of the middle or in the middle, but if you were to the very sides here, it would be pretty difficult to dodge into the middle if the Bitter Regret was getting the sides. The boss will then cast Flesh Buster, which will kill anyone who is a human, so go into the blue pad and become a ghost. Then we'll see another Poltergeist set and another Memorial March. This time it will spawn the proximity ads, and half of the arena is also going to be covered with these ads that are doing line AoEs. So you need to make sure you're not in that quadrant, and you also need to make sure that you're stretching your tether enough to not take full damage to the proximity tether. During this point, the boss will cast another Ghost Duster, so make sure you have turned back into a human through the blue pad. And then a line stack AoE Ghost Crusher. Again, make sure you are human, otherwise you will get instantly killed to this. And at this point, it's just rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. Thanks a lot for watching. This is the final video on this Dungeon Guide series. There's going to be plenty of other content live, so if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and I hope you are enjoying Dawntrail so far. See you in the next one, and goodbye.